A very good afternoon to all of you. This is Yogendra from Forsk Coding School. Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, Raj, Prachi, Swapnadeep, Maladatta, Vishwajit, Chaitanya. Okay, people are confirming now that they can hear me. Thank you. Thank you, Pallavi, Priyadarshini. So guys, again, welcome to day 2 program. And uh, you can see now that we have completed our day 1 yesterday, and today we are going to talk about what is the agenda first, right? So guys, second day we are going to spend this day on data analytics part. Okay, and I will define what the data analytics is, but I'm going to mention the libraries first that we are going to use during the data analytics problem solving. So guys, we will need three libraries here. We will need three libraries here. The one library that we are going to use first, or we are going to discuss first, is Matplotlib. So a Matplotlib is a visualization library. So what do you mean by visualization? Visualization means showing the data in graphical format, guys, right? So showing the data in a graphical format is known as visualization. And for that purpose, the library that we are going to use today is Matplotlib, right? There are other libraries as well in Python, but Matplotlib is the most popular one. Maybe you may have heard about other libraries as well. Let's say Seaborn is there, Folium is there, right? Plotly, a dash is there. So there are a lot of visualization libraries, but obviously Matplotlib is the mother of all the visualization libraries. So guys, are you clear about it, that the library for visualization, showing the data in a graphical format, showing the data visually, that is known as visualization. And for that purpose, we are going to use Matplotlib. Guys, is that clear with you? Okay, okay, good, cool. Now the second library that we will refer to, and obviously these are the foundation libraries. So the second library is called as Numpy, right? And some people say it Numpy, some people say it Numpy, but basically this stands for numerical Python. So this is the library which handles all the mathematical operations that we do on the data. So once you have the data, right, and if you want to perform operations, mathematical operations, matrix operations, all of these operations are part of this library, right? So we are going to use this library today. We'll understand a couple of functions from this. Obviously, it is a very vast library, but we'll understand the basic concepts around Numpy. And once you understand the philosophy, you can use any function in the future. Because first you need to understand the philosophy, and once the philosophy is clear, going for a new method in any library is not a big deal for you. And the third library that we are going to use today, guys, which is kind of a lifeline for data analytics in Python, that library is called as Pandas, right? And Pandas is kind of a library that is used to read the data or load the data. The data can be locally available on your machine. The data can be remotely available on your on the internet. You can read the data using Pandas, because before you do any kind of analytics, obviously you need to have the data, right? without accessing the data, what kind of analytics you will perform, right? So obviously Pandas is there to load the data, but this is not only for loading the data, it has a lot of functionalities, and that will help us in analyzing our data. So guys, I'm going to talk about 3 libraries today. And when tomorrow we start machine learning part, obviously we will have a 4th library that is known as sklearn. So in the code, you mentioned this as a sklearn, and in actually in communication we say a scikit-learn. So in the communication part, we just mention it as a scikit-learn, but in the coding we refer to it as sklearn, right? So that's there are other libraries as well for machine learning implementations, but we will be using scikit-learn here. Stats model is also one library, but we are not going to cover that part, right? And I will briefly talk about Keras and TensorFlow and PyTorch on 5th day, when we are going to talk about the deep learning part. Obviously, we would be talking about what the Keras is, which is a library from Google for deep learning, what the TensorFlow, which is again an open source library from Google, a PyTorch, again a deep learning library from Facebook and Uber. So this is the agenda for today, guys. So are you guys clear now that we are going to cover these 3 libraries today? Right? Okay. Okay. Cool, guys. Thank you. Thanks for the response. Cool. Now, guys, let me start with the first library, that is Matplotlib, right? So guys, the name of the library that we will use in our coding part for visualization purpose is known as Matplotlib. Okay, so first, if you want to use this library, obviously you need to import it, right? So how to import it? That is, pretty much straightforward, because now you understand that how you can import a library. Yesterday we imported a library, a math library. So how to do that, guys? Let me increase the font a little bit. And let me clean the console window. So I'm going to put a command clear. That will clean that. Okay, I'm going to remove the variable explorer, part as well. So, I'm just going to remove all the variables which are already listed here. So I just clean it. So now you can see this is cleaned. This is also cleaned, and now we are starting fresh. And I'm going to write today's code in day2.py. So yesterday it was day1.py, guys. Today it is day2.py. So first of all, we are going to import the library that we are going to use. So library that we are going to use is Matplotlib for visualization. So import Matplotlib, guys. See this? And let me select this, and when you select it, you can press shift enter, right? And it will execute. And if press enter, shift enter is not working for you, you can press F9 button on your Windows machine. So guys, see this? Okay. First, we should know that what version we are using for this library. What is the version of the library that is installed on my machine? And this version may be different for you, but how to check for the version, guys? A library name, that is Matplotlib dot underscore version, guys, right? This is double underscore, so we call this as dunder. So Matplotlib dot dunder version, so these are the dunder functions. And now see, can you see, guys, this is the version I have on my machine, and this may be different on your machine. Okay, don't try to match it exactly. It is very well possible that you may have a different version. And if this print is not coming on your console window, you can use the print command. That will solve the problem. If it is not visible, on your console, right? So this is the case, guys. Okay, now Matplotlib, has a specific module, and that module is called as PyPlot. So it has got a sub module, and that sub module is called PyPlot, guys. Basically, PyPlot is the module which is used for visualization. This is the module which is used for visualization. And what is the good part about this PyPlot? That using the commands, using the functions from PyPlot to visualize the data is very easy to understand, very easy to write, and very easy to call. So guys, if you want the access to this module, so what you will have to do, you will have to use a dot operator. So matplotlib, that is your, the parent library, and then after that you apply dot, and then you say pyplot. So we are going to use this module for our visualization purpose. So let me write that part, guys. So I'm coming to Spider back, and now I will say import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Guys, if you remember, I gave you an example yesterday as well, import math as empty, right? So in the future code, I would be referring to this, a library or submodule as plt. So let me, select this, guys, and, run this command if it is working, and we get it. Okay. Now, guys, can you please let me know that, what was your first, the class when you started drawing the graph in your school? What was the first class? Was it fifth class or sixth class or seventh class? What was the class that time where you started having, graph paper and all, right? I think it should be fifth class, sixth class, and so. Okay, so now people are saying, somebody's saying fourth class, somebody's saying fifth class, and see this. Okay, and that will help us actually, quickly learn a matplotlib. See, guys, if you remember, guys, right? Let's say you want to make a visualization. So what you do generally, you have two axes. So this is called your x-axis, and this is your y-axis. Okay, and let's say you have couple of coordinates. So couple of coordinates are like this, that there are couple of points. Let's say there is a point 1, 1, there is another point 2, 2, there is another point 3, 3, and there is another point 4, 4, let's say, and last one, let's say 5.5. Okay, and now if you see, guys, if you collect only the x component, so that is, the x coordinate, this is again x coordinate, this is x coordinate, this is x coordinate, and this is the x coordinate, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the set of x coordinates for these points, right? And similarly, we will have the a y coordinate as well. So we have 1, and then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. So this is first y, this is second y, this is third y, this is fourth y, and this is the fifth y, right? So that we have. So if we can provide these set of values to Matplotlib, it will draw the dots for us. So it will draw the dots for us, right? And we can easily connect them as well. So let's see how we are going to use the Matplotlib. So see, guys, I'm coming to Spider again, and as I told you that Matplotlib is the parent library, and we are just going to use pyplot. So to access the sub module from a given library, you need to use dot operator. So that's the point here. And now, guys, let me have a set of x coordinates, in a list. So guys, you are aware with the list already. We discussed around the list yesterday. So these are the x coordinates. So we are done with it. Similarly, I can have the y coordinates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So y coordinate as well. And now, guys, I'm going to call a method PLT. So I'm using PLT from here. So PLT dot scatter. So there is a method called scatter that will show the coordinates for us on the graph. See, guys, so PLT dot scatter. What it requires the x set of coordinates and y set of coordinates. So first I'm going to specify the x, then comma, and then we have a y. So this is, a good enough to show what is there. So let me select this, guys, and run it and see. When you run it, right, it is giving me, so maybe for a lot of people, this graph is already drawn on your machine, but this is not drawn on my machine. Why? Because I have got some masses that you have to use the plot pane. Right, so currently I have only 3 tabs, guys. IPython console is the one tab, variable explorer is the one tab, files is the one tab. I need to add a plot tab as well to see how the graph is generated. So guys, I'm going to add that plot. So I'm going to view, and in the view, there is the first option called pane, and then there is an option called plot. So I enable this. As of now, you can see there is no check mark, right? You can see the check mark only on editor, IPython, variable explorer. So I'm going to enable this as well. And when I enable this as well, guys, you can see the plots tab has been added here, right? For most of you, this is already added actually. And if it is not added, you will directly see the graph on the console, right? So if you're using older version, you will see directly the graph on the console. And there you can see, guys, this is 1, 1, right? This is 2, 2, and this is 3, 3, and this is 4, 4, and this is 5, 5. So these are the points which are drawn by this method PLT dot scatter, right? So guys, is that clear? That as long as you have the set of x values, you have the set of y values, drawing anything on the Matplotlib, using Matplotlib is pretty much easy, right? Okay, now I want to draw a line. I want to connect all these dots. I want to connect this point to this point, this point to this point. So basically, this is, drawing a line. So for that purpose, I'm going to use plt.plot. Okay, and when I use plt.plot method, right, now, I'm going to specify x and y again, right? And now see this plt dot plot, guys, and see this. What happens in this case? Okay, this is the masses I get, and I need to go to plots tab, and there you can see the line has been drawn now, guys, right? Line has been drawn. But guys, do you think that this is enough? I think if you take this kind of a chart to your teacher will put a lot of remarks on your graph paper, that why the x-axis name is not given, why the y-axis name is not given, what is the title, right? So we can use those methods as well. So I can give a title to this as well. So plt dot title, right? So that is there, guys, and I can give a string name here. So let's say I say a Forsk example, for example, right? So I'm just using a name here, Forsk example. So that's there, guys. Okay, and now I need to select both the lines and then run it. And when you run it, see this, guys, you see the text here, Forsk example. So this is setting the title. I can set the X label as well. I can set the X label as well and Y label as well. So how to use that, guys? PLT dot X label. So label means what, the name, right? PLT dot X label. And let's say you want to say, for example, that this is, right? So this is A's, and similarly, let's say PLT dot Y label, guys, and then let's say I say it is weight, for example, right? So it is weight. So this way, now I'm going to select all these four lines together, right? And going to, press Shift Enter on my machine, use F9 on your machine if required. And then you can see I'm going to plot a tab, guys, and this plot tab is enabled through this option, guys. And I'm repeating again, go to the view, go to the panes, and select this plots, and then this tab would be available to you. And there you can see, guys, the age is visible here, this text weight is available here, the title is already there. So there are a lot of options available in the Matplotlib library. And if you want to save this image, save this figure, right, you can do that as well. And how to do that, guys? Plt dot save fig, plt dot save fig, and now you can name by which you want to save this image, the name, right? So for example, you want to save this image as for example corona 19 something dot jpg, for example, right? So plt dot save fig corona 19 dot. So this would be saved in your current working directory, right? And if you remember, guys, I told you that how you can set the working directory, how you can go and select the folder in which you want to work, and that would be called as working directory, and this is going to be saved there only. So if I go to files tab, I should see corona19.jpg there, right? So can you see, guys, this file is added there, corona19.jpg, right? So I can save the image as well, which is generated. And now you have hell lot of options available. You have hell lot of options available in Matplotlib, right? And you can, have more cosmetic, effect, right? You can have a more cosmetic effect on the graph generated. So let's say you are not happy with this color, or you are not happy with the width of the line, so you can change them as well. So how you can do that? So guys, let me tell you, plt.plot. I'm going to call this method again, but this time I'm not going to even specify x and y, but along with the x and y, I will specify a couple of more options, right? What are those options? Let me specify the width. So how to specify the width? Line width is the option, guys, right? You don't need to remember. It comes by practice, or you can refer the documentation. I will tell you how to refer from the documentation. So you want to, let's say, increase the line width a little bit, right? And let's say you want to have a color as, for example, let's say red, okay, because red is quite, bright. So see this, guys, I'm just going to increase this editor width a little bit if possible. Okay, let me, see this, guys. Okay, now plt.plot, right? Plt, this. So guys, let me do this, plt dot plot, and now see this, I can see. So can you see there is a increased width, right? And the color of the line is now red. And you can have other options as well. And if you want to know more options, don't worry about that. You can always go to matplotlib.org. That is the site name, guys, right? Matplotlib.org. Matplotlib. I will take a couple of more examples from Matplotlib, but I'm just going to give you the documentation help that this is matplotlib.org, guys. And, this is the official documentation available there. And here you can go to the example sections, and there you will see that how you can create different visualizations, and the source code is also given there. So you will not need any difficulty. You can play around with a lot of charts. You can draw a bar chart, you can draw a pie chart, you can draw other 3D charts as well. So let me click on the examples if that is working. and see this, guys. Options are available. A lot of options are available that how you want to visualize the data, and when you click on the specific style, it will tell you that how you can draw it. For example, if you want to draw something like that, so you click on this, right? Can you see the a tree kind of and there this is the code given, right? This is the code given. And you can easily see that how they have inputted the library, and couple of methods are there, and x label, y label, scatter, and all that. So a lot of options are already available, and this is going to help you if you want to get more details around Matplotlib. Okay. Now, as a second example, so guys, is this example clear with everyone? Is this example clear with everyone, right? Okay. So guys, as I requested you yesterday as well, right? Whenever I ask you for a feedback, please do respond, right? So that it gives me a sense that you guys are with me, or I need to repeat, or that is there. Now, so scatter is the method where you just need to draw the points, guys, right? Scatter is the method where you need to draw the points. But if you want to draw a line, then you need to call plt.plot, right? You need to. So scatter will just give you the points, right? So that is there. Okay. Now, guys, let me, let me go for one more example, guys. Let me go for one more example. Let's say you study in a university, or in college, right? And there are a couple of engineering branches. Right? And let's say you have a CSE branch there, which has got, let's say, for example, 30 students. You have a EC branch there. You have, let's say, 20 students, right? You have a IT branch there. Let's say it has, for example, 25, students, and let's say you have one more branch, civil, right? For example, so and then it has got, this, for example, 22, let's say. So these are the 4 branches, right? So this the name just came, randomly to my mind, guys, and the number is also random. And guys, can you please respond me that if you want to show this kind of a data in Python, where you have a branch name and then you want to show that how many students are there in that particular branch, right? What kind of data structure is useful here, guys? If you remember from yesterday's dictionary, right? Yeah, now a lot of people are responding. And if you remember, guys, dictionary is a data structure which holds key value pair, right? So the branch name will become a key, and the number of students will become the value here, right? So we can actually use a dictionary. So I'm going to create a dictionary here, guys, and within the dictionary, I'm going to add the first, a key value pair that branch is CSE. Then we have a colon, and then we have the number 30. Then another, a key value pair. This is ECE. This is, again a couple of so 20 is the a number of students against EC. Then we have IT branch. It has got 25 students, and then we have finally civil with us. So this is there, guys, and then it has got 22 students, right? And let's say name this as dict1. So we are going to have a variable with the name dict1, and we have this dictionary. So we got this dictionary, okay? And now, if you remember, guys, you used to draw a pie chart, right? Sometimes in your mathematics class, just to represent or just to show that what is the portion, or what is kind of a portion from CSE, what is the pi from EC, what is the a portion by IT. So as of total students, how much percentage or how much area is acquired by CSE, right, in that pie chart. So for that purpose, we can call plt dot pi. This is a function which will draw a pie chart for us. It has a lot of options, but I'm going to keep it simple as of now. And guys, when you call plt.py, first of all, it requires the numbers from you, that what are the various numbers, what are the number of students in CSE, what are the numbers of students in ESE, what are the numbers of students in IT and civil. And guys, do you remember that from a dictionary, if you want to get the values only, we have a method there, right? And let's say that method would be dict1 dot. If you remember, guys, dict1 dot values was the method there from yesterday's discussion, if you remember, right? Dict1 dot values will give you the number of students. And can you see, guys, 30, 20, 25, and 22, right? So this is the data I'm going to use first. I'm just going to cut it here, guys, and paste it here. So that will be my first parameter and calling the pi function, right? And after that, it also requires the names, right? Because it need to show as a pie chart, and it need to show that which area belongs to which branch, right? So it requires the names as well. And those names are basically called labels here. So we need to pass on a parameter called labels, and whose value would be, right? So this is a parameter labels. And how to get the names? And to get the names, guys, this is very simple. Dict1 dot keys. If you remember from yesterday's part, guys, so dict1 dot keys will give you the names, right? So if I just run this piece of code, dict1 dot keys, it will give you the names. See this, guys? It will give you the names, dict1 dot keys, and you get the names, right? And now both of these, parameters are given to my pi function. And now let's select it and try to run it. And when this is, a run, and you go to the plots tab and see this, guys. Can you see? This is the CSE area. This is civil. This is IT. This is EC, right? So this is how you can draw a pie chart from a dictionary. I'm talking about that if your data is stored in a dictionary format, and then you can use this, use directly that dictionary to show the pie chart, right? So that is the basic pie chart you can, see, guys, right? And I can use a list as well, right, guys? I can use a list as well. As of now, you can see that I used a dictionary, but I can keep two lists, right? One list to store the names and the second list to store the values. So how I can do that, guys? So I have a list with the name branches. So branches is the name of the list, and I will keep all the names from above. So CSE is the one branch, guys. Second branch is EC. The third branch is IT, right? And and the what was the last one, guys? It was civil, right? So civil, so that is there, guys. Okay. And I'm going to use one more list that will keep the student count. So student count is the name of the list. And from there, I can, have one more list. So 30 is number of students in CSE. That sequence has to be same, guys, right? And then EC has 20 people, IT has 25 people, and then civil has 22 people. So now instead of a dictionary, guys, I'm going to use a list data structure. So I'm going to use two lists to store the same information what we were storing in a dictionary. And now I'm going to call the plt.py chart again, guys. And this time I'm going to pass on the student count first. So I'm going to pass on this list directly here, guys. The student count is there. and then I'm going to pass the labels. So labels are hidden in this list now. So I'm going to use labels is equal to branches. So this is the way, guys, I can, draw this, a pie chart, and obviously this would be same. And in case, guys, if your new plot is merging with the previous plot, guys, this may happen with you if your previous plot, right, is merging with a new plot. You just need to call a method which is called as plt dot clf, clear figure, right? So just call this, guys, and things would be fine for you, right? So that is there. That will solve your problem if you're getting overlapped visualizations. So guys, is that clear with you? Is that clear with you, that how we can? And there are a lot of options available in this Matplotlib library, and you can explore more about them using matplotlib.org. I just gave you the introduction. A bar chart can be drawn, 3D plotting can be done. There are a lot of options to draw, and that I have given you matplotlib.org, right? So that is there. Okay. And now, guys, after this, you will have a code challenge. You will have a code challenge, and the code challenge would be like this. I'm just going to explain it before moving to the new library Numpy, guys. Before moving to the, so guys, I'm just pasting that code challenge here. This code challenge that saying that you need to draw a pie chart, okay? And what you need to draw in the pie, you need to describe the number, number of students, right? From each engineering branch. So guys, you can see that civil engineering has so many students, electrical engineering has so many students, mechanical has so many, chemical engineering has so many students. So you need to showcase all of these numbers in a pie chart. So I think that should be pretty easy, because now you know that how you can draw a pie chart. So you need to keep a discipline or branch names separately, or you need to keep these numbers separately, and then draw a pie chart. So guys, is that clear? Can you solve this? I'm not going to solve it as of now. I'm not saying that you solve it as of now. After the class, that would be for your later use. That is for later, right? Now, just a minute, guys. Now, guys, I'm shifting my gears now and moving to a new library, guys, and understanding that new library is very, very important in terms of analytics. Okay. So because I did not specify what the analytics is, so I think now I can give you what the analytics is. So I'm going to first give you a definition about the analytics, and then I'll discuss the new library that is a Numpy. So we are going to now understand the Numpy library. But before, I need to explain you guys what the data analytics is. Okay, see this. Guys, because most of you are from academic sections. There are faculties from academics. There are students from academics, right? So let me give you an example from there only. Let me take you an example from there only. Okay. For example, you have a admission cell, right? You have an admission cell in every college or in every university, right? And what it does is basically it is it is on the promotion of your university, saying that this is one of the world's finest university, right? And you should study at least once in a lifetime here. So kind of that, right? and that admission cell puts lots of promotions in print media, in digital media and all. And now there is a student from this college, right? Let's say this college is for example XYZ. That is the name of the college, right? XYZ. And there is a student, Mr. X, right? There is a student, Mr. X, who is interested in finding some information from the admission department. Okay, what kind of information he's interested in? So let's say he goes to the admission cell head and says, sir, can I get a last 10 years of data, right, where I want to know a couple of, questions I want to answer. So the department head, the admission cell department head says that, yes, I have the entire 10 years data in an Excel sheet, right? I have maintained an Excel sheet, and that Excel sheet has all the details that, which student took the admission last year or what was the year wise. So now guys, let me know, can we find out answers to couple of questions, that can we have a year-wise, year-wise student count in terms of admissions from that college? That how many students took, admission in 2015, how many in 2016, and so on. Can we get this answer, guys? Okay. Can we get that what was the year where the maximum, admissions happened? Maximum admissions happened. Can we get the answer to this question? Yes, we can. Okay, what was the year where we had the minimum admissions, right? From this. Okay, can I get a state-wise distribution, that from which state, how many students, have taken the admission so far? How many students from Rajasthan? How many students from Haryana? How many students from Delhi? How many students from Tamil Nadu? How many students from Karnataka? How many from Maharashtra? And so on, right? And even, not even like this, not even the cumulative number, I can go to a filter where I can get to know that how many students in year 2015 from Rajasthan, how many students in 2016 from Rajasthan, and so on, kind of that. So all of this inquiry that you are making from that Excel sheet, all of this activity is called as data analytics, because you are trying to find out the insights. You are trying to find out the answer, that from which state most of the students are coming to your college for admission, right? Do the native people, do the people from the native home state are taking more admissions, or people from outside the state are coming? Or you can have a lot of inquiries, and answer is hidden in that Excel sheet, and finding out those hidden answers is data analytics. So guys, do you copy me that now is the definition of data analytics clear to you? I just gave you an example, right? So rather than going a very specific academic kind of a definition, right? It is not required. You can go academic definition and just Google it, and it will give you the academic definition as well. But I think the practical sense of doing data analytics is that finding the information, right? Finding the information from the data, right? Finding the information that what is the percentage of female students in your college, right? What is the percentage of people from urban versus the rural area, right? What is the percentage of the people who belong to, let's say, Hindi medium versus English medium, or Tamil medium versus English medium, or Telugu medium versus any other medium, kind of that. So that is data analytics, guys, right? So guys, are you clear now? And to perform data analytics, you need to understand, right? You need to understand the use of 3 libraries. That Matplotlib was the one. Second would be the Numpy, and the Pandas would be the third one, guys, right? So Yeah, Dinesh Kumar, you are quite close to that. So that is there. So guys, are you okay with the data analytics now? And it is a very exciting field actually, right? Almost every company in India is working on the data analytics. And if you want to go into the field of machine learning or deep learning as a fresher, you will always get a position of data analyst, right? And as you get the experience, you start moving to become a data scientist. So your entry would be as a data analytics. You would be, performing a lot of analytics, performing visualization, showing the data in a graphical format, doing some kind of, mathematical operations, finding out the information which is as of now hidden. So all of these activities are the daily routine activities of a data analyst in any company, right? And there are other tools as well, right? If you are not very good into programming, that doesn't mean that you cannot go and join as a data analyst. Still, you can go and join as a data analyst. There are a couple of tools in industry that are heavily used. And, if you know, guys, there is a tool from Microsoft that is called as Power BI. BI stands for business intelligence. So this is the tool which does not require you any kind of a coding, and you can use it for a beautiful visualization and performing the data analytics. There is one more tool called Tableau. Very popular again. Recently, this has been acquired by a company called Salesforce, right? So this is there. ClickView is also there. There are a lot of tools available, I think, but the Power BI and the Tableau are the leaders in this domain, right? So that is there, right? So as of now, on enterprise level, Power BI is way ahead of Tableau. Power BI is way ahead of Tableau. So in most of the enterprises, as of we know couple of around like 10 to 15 20 companies even in Jaipur. They are working on analytics, and they use Power BI whenever they need to do some kind of customization. For customization, they need to write code in Python, or use Numpy, Matplotlib, and Pandas. So Power BI is a software tool to perform data analytics, and it does not require you to write the code. Is that clear with everyone, guys? बीच बीच में जब पूछूं तो बता दिया करो, ठीक है? उससे पता चलता है कि आप लोग कहीं सो तो नहीं गए, right? So I also make sure that you guys are not sleeping, and you still you can hear me well, and you can understand me as well. Okay, Neha. Now, I'm talking about a new library that is Numpy, guys. So, see this, guys, Numpy. And guys, Numpy is a very, very vast library, right? So, first of all, now everybody focus on my screen and just listen what I say, because what I say is very important to understand the philosophy behind Numpy, to understand the philosophy behind Numpy. And what the philosophy is, guys, yesterday, guys, if you remember from yesterday discussion, we declared an integer like this, that a is equal to 10, so that means it's an integer, right? But if you want more than one data point, right, you need a collection of data points. Basically, you need to use a data structure, let's say list, right? So you use a list. So in now, A is the list which has couple of points for you. So now a couple of items are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as of now, all of these are integers. All of these are integers, okay? And now, guys, if you remember, we can, do kind of operations like this. So let me go to, spider again, and let me, give you an example. I think that nice example would be good enough for you to understand what I'm talking about. So let's say I have a list. So let me give it a proper name. So this is list one, guys, and I have a couple of points here in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And now, guys, what I want to do is I want to calculate the square of every item from the list one, and I want to store them in a list. I want to store them in a new list. So I want to store them in a new list. So what should be the output? The output should be like this. I'm commenting it. And it should be like 1k square 1, 2k square 4, 3k square 9, 4k square 16, 5 square 25, 6 square 36. That is the answer I want. That is the output I want from my data. So as of now, the data is in this list one. Okay. And how I can do that? So let's use a for loop, guys. Let's use a for loop. So for each item in list one. Okay. And now I can print the item. So if I print it, you can see the output on the console that I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But that was not my requirement. I want what? A square of every item. So what I can do in that case, I can multiply item with item. That will give me the square as well. So I say for each item in list one print. So now I get the square. But I don't want to print them on the console. I want to add them in a list, right? So rather than a print, I should append these values in a list. So I should have a empty list first. So I should have a new list, which is empty, guys. And now, while calculating item into item, I can append this data, using append method now. And this would be appended there, guys. And see this list 2 has been there. And now you can see list 2. So can you see, guys, 1, 4, 16, and so on. So that was one way, right? You can use map functionality. You can use list comprehension as well. There are a couple of ways in which you can solve this problem. But I think that was the simplest explanation I could give you, that how you can calculate the square of each item from the list. Guys, do you copy this? Do you copy this? Right? I think that is very easy to understand. Okay. Now, guys, what the problem I'm talking about is this, that using a loop mechanism, right, or using a list comprehension, or using using map functionality to calculate the square, this works well if your data items are less in the list, right? This will work very well without any issues, guys, right? Without any issues when your data items are less. That means you have, let's say, 10 items in the list, you have 100 items in the list, or 200 items in the list. What will happen if you have, let's say, 2 lakh data items, right? Let's say you have 2 lakh items in the list one. What will happen? Do you guys agree that using a loop kind of a mechanism will put a lot of delay in calculations, guys? Do you agree with me that if list has, let's say, 2 lakh items or 1 lakh items, using a loop to calculate the square of every item and storing them in a new list, right, it will take too much time for you, and that will be the high overhead, actually, right? And that is not feasible. And having a 1 lakh record in machine learning, or having 1 lakh records in data science, or having 1 lakh records in in data analytics is a very common scenario, guys. We recently completed a project where a student took part into that, and that project was performing analysis on terrorism data. And that terrorism data was around like 1,90,000 records were there in that terrorism data. And right, and obviously, we got a lot of delay while doing this kind of activity. So how to solve this problem? How to solve the problem of delay, right? How to solve the problem of delay? Then I'm going to introduce a new, a library, guys. Now I'm going to introduce a new library. What does it mean? That you will have to move away from Python world, guys. You have to move away from Python world if you want to perform faster operations, right? If you want to perform faster operations on your data, you will have to go away from Python world. You don't have to use list. You don't have to use any, let's say dictionary or tuple. You have to use a new library. And that new library will handle these operations very fast. And this new library is basically called as Numpy. And it has a fast operations, and basically Numpy has been implemented using C programming. So behind the scene, and there is a concept called vectorization that, makes the operations fast. I'm not going to talk about much. I will explain just through example, guys. So vectorization makes it possible to have faster operations in the Numpy. So what we need to do, guys, we need to convert this list to Numpy. And the data type that we use in the Numpy world is called as ND array. What you say, guys? The data type. So here the data type is list, which is a Python world. But now we are moving from this world and we are entering to a new world where mathematical operations are fast enough, right? And there you will encounter a new data type, and that would be the ND array. N stands for number, right? So N dimensional array, right? N dimensional array. N matlab multi-dimensional array. So it can be 1 dimension, it can be 2 dimension, it can be 3 dimension, it can be 4 dimension, or any other dimension. So this is the ND array, and that will make our operations fast enough. So guys, is that philosophy clear? That whenever you want to perform faster operations, you need to take your data from list world to the Numpy world, and there things would be fast for you guys. Is that clear with everyone? Okay. Now let me, guys, see how we can do that. Now the question, because now we understand the philosophy that yes, we need Numpy to have faster operations, faster mathematical operations, and the problem was there, using the list and using the loop was giving us a lot of delay, and how we can handle the data in the Numpy now. So first of all, you need to import the Numpy. So guys, we are importing Numpy now. So import Numpy as, NP. So guys, I'm just importing this library, right? So this, right? This, guys. Import Numpy as NP. And guys, do you remember, now we can easily find out the version of the library, right? How to find out the version? NP dot dunder function. What was the dunder function? Dunder matlab double underscore. So NP dot, underscore version underscore. So that is the version, and this may be different from on your machine, and that's all. Okay. Now, guys, I have a list first. So now I'm going to use a list, guys. So as of now, I'm in the Python world. As of now, I'm in the Python world. So this is there, guys. I'm in the Python world, and I have 9 items in my list. 9 items in my list. See this. Okay. How I can convert this data, because as of now, if you see what would be the type of A, that will print a list for me if you see on the console, guys. Okay, now how I can convert this list to ND array, right? So now, guys, right, I'm going to call a method called np.array. I'm going to call np.array, and I'm going to pass my list to this method. So name of the list is A as of now, and let's say I assign this to X. So guys, see this, guys, what has happened. Now using this method, we are moving from a Python world to the Numpy world. So A is list, but X would be ND array. So now we are going to run this command, run this statement, guys. And when you see what is the type of X, see guys, what the type of X is, see this, let's the type of X come out, and this comes out to be ND array. Okay, one more difference that you can see, guys, when you say A, print A, here you can see, guys, and X, here you can, okay, let me say print A rather than, better would be like this. Can you see print A? And then I say print X, guys. And now you can see clear difference. When you are printing a list, you have the comma separations in between, right? But when you are printing an ND array, you do not have any commas in between. So this clearly indicates, this is basically, by just looking at the data, sometime you can get to know that whether it's a list or an ND array, right? So guys, we have now, moved to Numpy world, and now I will explain three different keywords here for you. I will explain three different keywords. And what are these keywords? Let me tell you, guys. I'm going to use the first keyword that is known as D type. So I'm going to use that X dot. Okay, X is what? My ND array. How come I got that ND array? I converted my list. Using which method I converted that? Using np.array. Okay. Now I'm going to use X dot D type, and let me tell you what the output is coming, guys. Here you see int 64. It is int 64. What is the meaning of D type? D type means that what is the data type of each element that is stored in the ND array, right? Whatever the items you have stored in the ND array, what is the data type of individual item, right? And let's go to the variable explorer, and there you will see X. And when I double click on this, guys, when I double click on this, right, I see items from 1 to 9 here. The individual item is of type int 64. But wait, guys, it can be different on your machine. It can be int 32 on your machine. So machine to machine, it may change. But using D type, what I'm saying, using D type, it means what is the data type of the element that are stored in X. So that is the one concept. It would be very much used in data science. That is a frequently used term in data science or in machine learning, guys. D type. Okay. Now I'm going to use second term, X dot shape, guys. X dot shape. Okay. What is that? What is that? Let me tell you. What 64 means, so when the answer is coming like that 64, it is saying that it is taking 64 bits to store the integer data, right? It can store a float as well. It can store a 32 bit as well. It can store 16 bit as well. It can store 8 bit as well. But by default, it stores everything in 64 bit, right? By default it takes, so this is number of bits, guys, the number of bits to store the integer data. Okay, now I'm coming to X dot shape, guys. This is X dot shape. What is the answer coming? Okay, see this, guys. Do you see what is coming here? 9 comma. What does it mean? So it means that your X has 9 rows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 9. So before comma, it is giving me that what is the count of rows in the data. After the comma, there is no information given about the column. In this case, this kind of data is called as one-dimensional data because only row information is given. Column information is not there. That means this data is one-dimensional data only. If the column information is also given to you, then it becomes two-dimensional data. So I'm going to introduce one more term for you guys that is called as andim. So andim here, X dot andim, and here you see we have this one. So and means number of dimensions. So guys, I'm talking about three terms from the X. D type, that what is the data type of individual item, right? What is the data type of 1, what is the data type of 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and up to 9? That is int 64. It is taking 64 bits. Okay, then what is the shape? It tells you that how many rows and columns of your data has. As of now, our data only has information about the rows. There is no information given about the column, and that's why we will call this data as a one-dimensional data. Okay, so this is there. Okay, now going a little ahead, and I can use indexing as well to get individual item from that. So I can use, let's say, what is that index 0. So that will give me the first item from the ND array. See guys, I get the first value, and I can specify the range as well. So I can specify range like this, x0 to 5. So what it will print, guys? It will print the value from index 0, from index 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that will print. You can see, guys, that the items are printed from index 0 to index. So slicing is, similar what we used to have in case of strings, what we used to have in case of list as well. Okay, now guys, let me do one thing, right? If you remember, guys, how many elements we have in X? We have 9 elements in X, guys, right? We have 9 elements in the X. So let's go to the pad and just understand one philosophy. I'm going to talk about the last philosophy from Numpy, guys. See this, and that's very important. See this, guys. As of now, our data is like this. Everybody, please focus on the discussion, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, then 8 is there, right? And this is 9. Okay, guys, this is our X. And if you remember, what is the data type of every element? It is int64 on my machine. It is int64 on my machine. So every data type is int64. Okay. What is the shape, guys? If you remember, the shape is 9 comma. There is no information given here. And if there is no information given here, what is the value of endim? What is the value of endim, guys? So this is here. That's there. So it is a one-dimensional data. It has got total 9 rows. There is no information about the column given, and every data item is of int64. Okay, guys, let me know. I have a question for you. Can we, convert or kind of store this data in another, a fashion? And that fashion would be like this, where I create a matrix of 3 by 3, right? So it has got 3 rows and 3 columns, right? And now I store this data like this: 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 6 here, 7, 8, and 9 here. So what I'm changing, guys, I'm just changing the shape of this data, right? I'm just changing the shape of the data. Now the new shape, guys, right? Now the new shape would be, what would be the new shape? Number of rows and number of columns. So number of rows are 3, comma, number of columns are 3 as well. Okay, and now because it has got number of rows and number of columns both, so endim would be now 2. Endim would be 2 here, guys, and data type is not going to change. The D type is still going to remain same. It is going to int 64, right? And now how to do that programmatically? Okay, visualization is perfect for us. Now how we can do it visually, how we can do it programmatically, we have a method called reshape. So I'm going to call this method reshape, and in the reshape I need to specify what the new shape you want. So I say I want 3, 3 here, guys. Okay, and I'm going to assign the output back to X again. That means I'm going to override the X. So now you can see, guys, we have X here. We have done a reshaping, And now you click on the X, guys. There you see the matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are there. And now calculate what the D type is. See, guys, we have the D type same. It is not going to change. This is int 64. Okay, what happens with the shape, guys? We have X dot shape 3, 3. And what about, guys, X dot ending? So we have, two guys, right? So that is there, right? That is there, guys. That there. If you want another, other kind of data type rather than int64, here you can, specify. I think here, you can specify D type is equal to, I think you can say np dot int 8, for example. I think that will work. For example, let me check on this part if that is working. Yeah. So now, guys, I'm saying that while converting my list data, right, now you can see, guys, X has been converted into ND array, but this time the D type would be int 8. By default, it was 64, but now I have specified that individual items should be stored in this data type, right? So that is there, guys, right? So on your machine, guys, for me it was coming int 64, but on your machine it can be int 32 as well. So, guys, did you understand the philosophy of the Numpy? The only philosophy that you need to understand is that how you can take your data from Python, right, to the Numpy, and there you can apply hell lot of methods, guys, right? Lot of methods are available in the Numpy. That was the one basic method I told you, that how you can convert your, a data. You can generate a new data directly as well, right? You can call np.arange function. I'm going to talk about a range function, guys. And let's say you want to generate the, 10 numbers, right? You want to generate the 10 numbers, guys. So, guys, see this, y is equal to np.arrange. So it will generate a ND array of 10 values starting from 0. So, guys, see this, and y. Can you see this, guys? This from 0 to 9 we have generated. So this time we did not convert the data from the list. We directly generated as an ND array, right? So that is case. So this is case, right? So guys, is that clear with everybody, that how we used Numpy? I think it is quite comfortable to you guys now, right? It should be quite comfortable to you now, right? Because I have given you a start, right? So I have given you a start, and obviously, there are a lot of things to learn. Obviously, that is not the end of the story. This is just a start of the story, right? That is just start of the story. ये तो अभी शुरुआत है, right? ये कहानी खत्म नहीं है, right? So that is okay. Say print y actually, right? Rather than printing, y directly, print y. Pranali, right? That is there. Now, see this, guys. Is that clear with everyone, right? Is that clear with everyone, guys? Yeah. Okay. Okay. As a final example from the Numpy, guys, I take one more ND array. So I generated this y. Okay. And now let me generate a new ND array as well. Again, the same, elements into this. And now see the magic, what happens in case of Numpy, guys. See this, what is X? See this, print X is there, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, print Y, guys, okay. And now when we do print X plus Y, what will happen, guys? I'm just going last example on the Numpy. See this, guys, when you say print X plus Y, see this. Okay, what happens? Okay, we got something wrong. What is it saying? And P, dot. Okay, let me check what happens with that. X. Oh, it has to be y z. I think I was wrong in x plus y. Okay, I got it. So it has to be y plus z, guys. Okay, sorry for that. And now you can see this, right? So I was doing x plus y, basically those are wrong. Now I'm doing y plus z, right? So guys, can you explain that what is the output? How come the output is like this? 0, 2, 4, 6, 18, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. How come the answer is like that? When you do y plus z, what is happening? Basically, it is element to element addition. This is a matrix addition, guys. And I know these kind of things are individual one-to-one additions here, guys. So that's here, guys. So you had y here, you had a z here, and you had a y plus z here, right? So this kind of operation is known as vectorization, guys. This kind of operation is known as vectorization. So guys, Numpy mein maja aaya? Did you enjoy it? Right. So guys, numbers are not random. 0 was added to 0, 1 was added to 1, 2 was added to 2, 3 was added to 3, and so on. So that is the case, guys. Right. Now, guys, we are moving to now guys, we are moving to, so let's say I can store this in a new ND array, right? I can say y plus z, and here you see this, guys. Now t has been there, and what would be the type of the t, guys, right? So type here is t. See this, guys, nd a, right? So that's the case, guys, right? And you have a lot of functions in the Numpy, right? You have a lot of functions in the Numpy. So let's say we can go to the Google and we see a list of Numpy functions, right? List of Numpy functions. So see this, guys. You will get a lot of examples are there from Geek for Geeks, or Numpy tutorials are there. Numpy.org is also there, guys, right? That is the official documentation, right? np.random is there, right? See this, guys. So trigonometric functions are there, hyperbolic functions are there, rounding are there, sums are there, exponent functions are there, arithmetic operations are there. So there is a lot of operations for you guys. A lot of operations are there that you can see, guys. कोई कमी नहीं है, you should be able to use them, right? The list is quite big, actually. A list is quite big here. So these things can be very well understood, and you can start. So maybe if you are interested in finding the random functions in the Numpy, so here you can see the list of random functions, numpy.random, numpy.random, this, then this, blah, 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 blah. Koi kami nahi hai. You have all the options available with you. Sign them, right? So that's there, guys. Aage chalein. Should we move now and understand more about pandas now, guys? Because that is the third library for today, and still we have a lot of things to learn. So let me have a water, and then we are going ahead. Guys, मजा आ रहा है? सो तो नहीं गए?
I'm just like, I'm trying to, that you should not get, sleep. Okay. Suraj Gandhi Dham saying, sir, jag rahe hain. Okay. Sandeep Mandal saying, sir, maja aa raha hai. Very good, guys. So, okay, that's cool if you're not sleeping and you are active. Okay, guys. Now, something, some real stuff is coming for you guys. And what the real stuff is this. Okay, let me show you some, Rukhsar saying sir needi nahi aa rahi hai. Okay. Now let me show you some data for the first time, guys, because we are talking about data analytics, and now we should have some data where we can use that data to perform some kind of analytics using Pandas. So let me show you that data now, guys. A very popular one, and I have got this data from I've got this data from internet, guys. There is a site called UCI repository, guys. There is a site called UCI repository. From there, I got this data for experimentation purpose, right? UCI repository. See this, guys, what the data is telling us. What is that? This data file is stored with the name salaries.csv. The extension of this file is .csv, guys. .csv. Okay. And CSV stands for comma separated values. Why we are calling it as comma separated values? There in the file you can see that every record, right, in every record the values are separated by a comma, and that's why we call it as a comma separated values. When you open the CSV file in an Excel sheet, you will not find any difference, opening a Excel sheet versus opening a CSV file. The visuals are same, the data representation is same. You can open this file in an Excel sheet as well. So guys, why this is called a CSV? I told you that values are separated, using a comma, and that's why comma separated values. What the data is, basically this data belongs to a university, right? And this is the information about the university teaching staff. Okay, what it does, guys, the first row is actually telling you the column names. Okay, and what they are telling, right, what they are telling, guys, that what are the designations of each teaching staff. So that name has been given as rank, that what is the designation. So rank is there, in which department they are working, how many years they have completed since PhD, how many years they have they have completed in the job, in the service, what is the gender, and what is their current salary. So this is kind of a heading, right? And now from second row onwards, we are getting the individual data. So this is the first guy who is a professor there, belongs to department V, has completed 56 years of PhD, 49 years in the job, is male and having this salary. So probably the most senior guy in that community. Then we have another professor there. We have one associate professor there. We have one assistant professor there. We have, so we have this data, guys, right? We have this data. And to perform some kind of analytics on this data, first you need to load this data in your Python, code. And for that purpose, you are going to use Pandas, right? So guys, this session is already recorded. You don't need to record anything. This session would be available on the Forsk Coding School YouTube channel, right? Yesterday's session was also there, guys, right? No, so now guys, see this. I'm going to first import the Pandas for you. So how to import Pandas, guys? Import Pandas as PD.
This is, this is, I have imported, guys. So see this, we got it. Now, first of all, I'm going to load my data. Okay, and for that, I'm going to call a method called read CSV. So PD, the name of my, pandas now, pd.read_csv, guys. So read CSV, and now I need to mention the name of the file from where I need to load the data. And what is the name of the file, guys? Salaries.csv is the name, and S is capital, so you have to be case sensitive here, guys. Salaries.csv, and you store this here, guys. You store this in a variable. Let's say that variable name is df. See this, guys, that is a simple statement. I'm just loading the data. I'm just reading the data. It's kind of a file handling, right? You did file handling in C programming where you used to call open method and, read the data from a text file or read the data from a binary file. The same, something is doing here only. I'm reading the data from CSV file directly, right? So read CSV, guys. I'm just going to run it, right? And see this. And when you load this data, the data has been loaded into a variable called df. So can we see what comes in the df, guys? So I'm going to Variable Explorer now and click on the df here. We have the df, guys, and see this. We get this data. I double clicked on df and then we see this data. Can you see, guys? The data is kind of a tabular data now, right? You can see the rank column here. You can see the discipline here. You can see the PSD here. You can see the service column, sex column, and salary column, guys. So see, this is there. Okay, so this was the actual data columns. There is one more column, guys, index. There is one more column, guys, index. Basically, index is added by the pandas. It is not part of the actual data, right? In your CSV file, you have no column with the name index. You have the first column with the rank column only, right? So this is the column which has been added by pandas. This was not part of your actual original data. So this kind of data in pandas is called as data frame, guys. What you call this, guys? This kind of a data, this kind of a tabular data, where it has some rows and it has some columns, guys. This is called as data frame. The most used term in data analytics, when you are using pandas, that would be the most used term, guys, data frame. So data frame is a two-dimensional data, a tabular data. Guys, do you copy me that this is data frame, what you see on your screen? Okay. And I can use the type method as well. Using type, I can find out what the data type is. So I can say what is the type, df. What is the type of the df, guys? And there you can see, guys, data frame is there. Okay. And now I can find out a couple of information from this data frame. I'm going to find out a couple of information from here, guys. See this. I want to know what is the shape. So df.shape. And now you are already aware what the shape means, number of rows and number of columns. So let me select this and run it for you, guys. It says it has got 78 rows and 6 columns. Why 6 columns, guys? Because one column is rank, other column is, what is that? Discipline. And if you want to know the names of the columns, so you can say df.columns. See, guys, df.columns, you can directly call. And see this, rank column is there, discipline is there, PSD, service, sex, and salary. That's there, guys. Okay. And if you want to know the df.ndim, ndim is also known to us now, guys, from Numpy, number of dimensions. Obviously, it is a two-dimensional data, right? We have a two-dimensional data as well, right? And we can say df.dtypes as well, guys. In the Numpy, it was D type. Here it is D types. So now it will tell you that what kind of data is stored in every column. What kind of data is stored in every column. So can you see, guys? It is saying that salary column stores your data in float. Sex column is storing your data in object format. Object means text format. A text data. Because if you see, guys, there it is male or female written, right?
So that kind of data type would be called as object in Pandas. So guys, are you clear about what the object means? Object means the data is in a textual format, and text format is called as categorical data. What is called, guys? Categorical data. टेक्स्ट को हम डेटा साइंस में या मशीन लर्निंग में कैटेगोरिकल डेटा कहेंगे, कैटेगोरिकल डेटा देयर्स, राइट? So sex is a categorical data, service is integer, PSD is float, discipline is object, and rank is also object. CSV means comma separated values, guys, right? CSV means comma separated values. Okay, now guys, listen. I want to print the data frame now. Okay, I want to print the data frame, so I say df here directly, df. Okay, I say df. Okay, now df has been printed, but you know, I'm not in a very good format. So let me reduce the font size a little bit. I think we can, you know, can see this. Okay, can you see guys now? We have rank column, we have discipline, we have PSD column, we have service, we have sex, and we have salary. Every record is not shown here. Initial couple of records are shown, and then after then, you know, a couple of records from the last are shown, and in between we have, you know, dot, dot, dot. That means more records are there, but they are not shown. Okay. Loading or printing the entire DF is not a very good idea, guys. Right? Loading and printing the entire DF is not a good idea because it may have lakhs of records. And when you print lakhs of records like this, it's not a good idea, right? It will take a lot of memory and it may slow down your spider as well. It may hang your machine as well. It's never a good idea to, you know, print a DF like this, because it was okay with us because only 78 rows are there in our case, right? So you should have other methods. And what are those other methods, guys? You have one method called df.had here. And it will only give you the first 5 records. Can you see, guys? Only index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. So had will always give you the first 5 records. But in the had, you can specify the number. So if you say 2, it will print you only the 2 records. See this, guys. Similarly, you can call df.tail. It will give the last 5 records of your data, last 5 records of your data, tail. Okay, you want to know, you want to collect any random, you know, record from the data, you can call df.sample, guys, df.sample. See this, right? df.sample, right? So why we are getting these values at dot 18 dot 19 dot, right? Because your PSD column was float type, right? And that's why the dots are given there. So df.sample, guys, right? df.sample. And can you see, guys, this time we got a record number 13, index number 13 record was, you know, printed. But when I do sample again, it will get something else. Now it is printing from index 7. So it is a random actually, right? Sample means taking one record randomly. So whenever you do df.sample, it will collect any, you know, a random record for you from the data frame, guys, right? So you can call one more function called df.info. I'm just calling, you know, so df.info, a very good information will come out here, guys. What it says that your rank column is there, which has got, you know, 78 non-null values. What it does mean, guys, it is a very important, you know, stuff for you. Let me show you, guys. It says that rank column has 78 non-null values. Okay, what does it mean? I'm going to explain it you now. A discipline column also has 78 non-null values, but look at the PSD column. PSD column, it says 76 non-null values. What does it mean? Why it has 2, you know, a number lesser than the, you know, a 78? Or are saying 78, but this one is saying 76. Why? So let me go to the variable explorer, click on the data frame again, and now focus on the, you know, PSD column, guys, right? Can you see, guys, that at row number 13, index number 13, we have data which is saying NAN. That means there is no, a value given here, right? There is no meaningful data here, and this data is called NAN. And this kind of data is called as missing data. Why this data is kind of missing? You can see other missing values here. Can you see, guys, at index 7, we have a missing value in the salary, right? We have a couple of other missing values here. So let's go to the CSV file and check why the NAN is coming here. So let's focus on this, guys. Index 7. So, okay, go to the CSV file and see index. Okay, can you see, guys, that at row number 9 here in the CSV file, right? Because this would be the index 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, and this is 7. Can you see, guys, that after the gender and after the comma, there is no salary data given, right? CSV फाइल के अंदर सैलरी दी हुई नहीं है, और जो डेटा नहीं दिया गया है, that is shown as a missing data, that is shown as a NAN value in the data frame. Similarly, go to the row number 13. So you are here, guys, professor, that means rank is given, discipline is given, but can you see, guys, that in between two commas there is no information given? That means PhD data is not given, and that means this is again a missing value. So guys, are you clear about the missing data? And that is a very important concept in data science. Sometimes we have a lot of methods which do not work well if your data has missing data, right? Your data has a missing data, guys. So this is called as missing values. Okay. Now, guys, if you want to know, right, that which column has the missing data. For example, if you want to know, right, that which column has a missing data, you can call a function called df.isNull, guys, df.isNull, right, and then dot any, and in the any you say access is equal to 0. I will explain what does it mean, guys. I will explain. See this, I'm going to run this statement. We are just checking for the missing data and see what the output comes. See, guys, what is the output coming from this statement? It is saying rank column false, that means there is no missing data here. Discipline column false, that means there is no missing data in any row. Okay, PhD column is true, that means there is some missing data, but I don't know exactly which row has the missing data, but it says that yes, there is missing data in this column, but I don't know about the particular row which has the missing data. Similarly, service column says false, that means no missing data here as well. Sex column, no missing data here as well. The salary column also has a missing data. So true means missing data is there. But when I say access is equal to 1, now it will find out the row, row wise missing data for you. So I just changing access to 1. And now you will see, guys, see this. Now it is saying that first row is false. That means no missing data in the first row in any column. No missing data in the second row in any column. So this time we are getting the row wise information, but we don't know that which column has a missing data. If there is a true, for example, right, if there is a true here, right, that means some column has a missing data here. So this way we can get to know, guys, there are a lot of functions in Pandas, it's a very interesting. So df.max, let's say I call df.max here, guys, and here you see it will give you that what are the maximum values from each column. So it is saying that salary column has a maximum data 1,86,960. Okay, the service column has a maximum data 51. The maximum value from that column. I can get the minimum as well. df.min here, guys. So it will give you the missing data. Okay. and we can find out the average as well, right? So df dot mean, it will calculate the average of every column. So now, because average can be calculated on the numeric data only, guys, so you can see we only see 3 columns, right? Rank and discipline and sex is missing. So it is saying that what is the average of the PhD column, what is the average of service column, right? And what is the average of the salary column. So now we are getting analytics that what is the average salary of the teaching staff in that college. So that is the average. What is the average service time, right? That is 15 years. What is the average PhD time? That is 19 years. So, we are getting an insight now as well, right? We are getting an insight now. Okay, now question comes that how you can print a specific column. Guys, how you can print a specific column. So to print a specific column, let's say you want to print the rank column only. So you say data frame, that is df, and now use a square bracket. Inside a square bracket, you just need to mention the column name. It will only print the first column for you guys. So can you see, guys, we have only printed df rank. So professor here. Similarly, if you are only interested in printing the salary column, so how you will write it? df, and now salary, right? The name of the column. So df, it will only print you the salary column. If you want to print both rank and salary, वो कैसे करेंगे? So inside the data frame, you use a square bracket, and in the inside the square bracket, you use one more square bracket, and now you name both the departments. So rank is there, so one column rank, after the comma salary is there. So inside you are using a list. That means to print more than one column at a time, you need to use a list here, right? यहाँ पे हमने list use नहीं किया था. We directly wrote rank, we directly wrote a salary, but now we are using a list inside the square bracket. So now it will print rank column as well and salary column as well. Can you see this, guys? We get the data printed on the screen. See this, that is there, right? So and now you can do, let's say you want to know a particular column average. So how you can say, guys, df salary column pe dot mean here, guys. So it will only give you the average of salary column. See this, guys, average of the salary column is there. Okay, now one particular a concept comes that would be used in tomorrow's machine learning project as well. I need to discuss two methods to you guys before we close for the discussion. Okay, one more thing, guys. I'm going to give you a method using that you can print a particular row and a particular column both. So far, I was able to print a particular column, but now question comes that how we can print a particular row in Pandas, right? And for that purpose, I'm going to call you a ilock method, guys. df.ilock. I matlab integer, lock matlab location, okay? And how it works, guys. Let's focus on this, understanding that part. It is a very interesting. I'm going to use a comma inside. Before comma, you can specify the row selection, and it will work like a slicing, like an indexing concept. So I say 0 to 5, right? That means it is talking about the row selection. It is saying print row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So it will go from row 0 to row 4. 5 is excluded, guys. And after the comma, you can specify the column selection. So let's say you are interested in first two columns. So you will say column integer 0, and then it goes up to 3. That means it will print 0 and 1 and 2. So it will print only the first 3 columns. But if you want to print the first 2 columns, you just need to say 2. Because in that case, it will only select column 0 and column 1. So guys, what answer comes out here? Please, I'm going to repeat it again, guys, but let me see the output, what the output is coming for you. See, guys, what it does mean. ilock means integer location. Before comma, you are specifying the row selection. That means from row 0 to row 4. So can you see in the output, guys? Row 0, row 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now it is the column selection taking that. Take column 0, that means rank column. Take column 1 as well, that means discipline. Guys, see this, guys, see this. Okay, I can take one more example, df.iloc. Let's say you want to print from row number to 10 to 15. So how will say this, guys? Row number 10 to 15. So if I want to print from 10 to 15, I need to say 16 here, guys. Okay, and after that, let's say I want to print the last column. So how I can say, guys? Last column can be represented as -1 as well. And last column is a salary column, right? So I can say this. So can you see this, guys? This time I get the salary from 10 to 15. So guys, is the iloc method clear with you? Is the iloc method clear with you, right? It is just saying that, before comma, you need to specify the row selection, and after the comma, you need to specify the column selection. Okay, one more example from the iloc, the last example from the iloc, guys. Okay, how to say that? Let's say you want to print the column, row 10 and row 15, row 10 and row 15, guys. So how you will say df.iloc, but you are only interested in row 10 and row 15 only, not in between. So you will use an inside list, and inside list you say row number 10 and row number 15, right? So that is, there, guys, that is there. So it will select all the columns because I have not specified the column yet, right? I have not given after the comma anything. That means it is going to print every column, but this time it will only select row 10 and row 15 for you. See this, guys. Row 10 and row 15 as well, right? So, this is, and can you see, guys, we got the heading as well, right? Heading is there, indexes is there. Okay, and now a couple of things as well. I have a question for you. I want to know that what are the unique values in rank column? What are the unique values? Because you can see, guys, in the data frame, that you have so many entries, professor, assistant professor, C, and all, right? So what are the unique values in the rank column? How to check around that? So df, okay. And now in the rank column, I'm going, and inside the rank column, I call a method called unique, guys, unique, right? See this. So that will give you the unique data, and it prints you. Can you see, guys, that there are only 3 unique values? Either professor is entered there, either associate professor is there, or either assistant professor is there. And if you want to know that how many professors are there, how many associate professors are there, that is very simple, guys. We have a method called value counts, right? So we have df. Inside the df, I specify the column name, and the dot, I say value counts, right? Value counts. See this. Okay. See, okay, value counts. It has to be S here. So value counts. So it says out of total data, professors are 46. Out of total data, assistant professors are 19. Out of total data, associate professors are 30. See this, guys, that is there. Okay, now give you the last example for today. Now giving you the last example. For example, I want to know that how many people are there who has a salary greater than 1,20,000. I want to know these people who have a salary more than 1,20,000. So how to write that condition, guys? I'm going to check for the salary. So df, my data frame. Inside the data frame, I check for this column salary. And now I go for a condition that this has to be more than 1,20,000. See this, guys, okay? And when I select this, it will give me a true false. What does it mean? It means that this row has a salary more than 1,20,000. This row has a salary lower than 1,20,000. This row has a salary, more than one. So, row wise, I'm getting true false. That which row is giving, true on this condition, and which row is giving, but that is not printing the actual data. If you see, guys, this is not printing the actual data. It is just giving you an indicator that this row has a salary more than that or more than that, right? So this is kind of working as an index. I just need to specify data frame just ahead of it, right? मैंने एक और df लिख दिया, guys. So see this, guys, what is happening. This is the data frame, and inside this I have specified a condition. And now when I run it, it will print the actual data where salary is more than 1,20,000. So that was kind of a condition, guys, right? This was condition, right? So what is this? Print df where salary is more than 1,20,000. See this, guys. So guys, आज की कहानी कैसी रही? How was the story today? Pandas बहुत बड़ा है, but I think I have covered the basics, right? I have covered the basics of the pandas, basics of the Numpy, basics of the तीनों को cover करना obviously थोड़ा सा challenge रहता है, so that is so that is there, right? So that is there. So now people are responding, they are saying, sir, very good and interesting, very nice, awesome, Jordar, Suraj Bhardas is saying like that, right? And guys, still if you have any questions, you have Mohit and Sandeep with you, right? आप उनको WhatsApp कर सकते हैं, right? Sheikh Irfana is saying, sir, आज का क्लास बहुत अच्छा लगा, thank you. Abhishek Sahani saying, मजा आ गया sir. Neil Modi sir, it was fantastic, right? Sachin Kelwa saying, sir, starting आपने बहुत अच्छी की थी. Abhishek Sahani saying, interesting, right? Vijay Mano has a question. Mano, please post this question to technical team. Deepika saying knowledgeable. Now Om, saying understood, very clear. Mohan Priya saying so purely awesome, right? Very interesting, very nice. Sandeep Mandal saying story was awesome. Javeria Muhammad saying it was so interesting, sir. Sayali saying, love your teaching. Okay. Okay. Guys, I have an announcement for you, right? I have an announcement for you. Registration for the certificate now are open, guys. Viswajit Tripathi, you can pose this question to technical team. Now, guys, registrations for the certificate are open, guys, right? Registration for, open. Yeah, Anushari, we would be starting machine learning tomorrow, guys. कल से हम लोग machine learning start कर रहे हैं. Santoshini from Hyderabad is saying extraordinary, right? Shubhranil Bakchi saying it's a nice class, right? You have, okay, so a lot of people, Mr. Unknown is saying, sir, beautifully delivering the concepts. So I think लोगों को बहुत मजा आ रहा होगा इस, लग रहा होगा कि कोई item song चल रहा है, जैसे, hall में कोई item song चलता है, तो कहीं पे भी ध्यान नहीं जाता है, right? सिर्फ item song को ही देखती है दुनिया. So I think that should be the feeling here, guys, right? And now registrations for the certificate are open, guys. And Yashivraz, thank you. And you can go to this link, guys, right?
you can go to this link and register yourself for the certificate. Certificates would be delivered at on Saturday or maybe Monday at max, right? So you guys, you can register. I have shared, on the link with you guys, with everybody, right? Pallavi, Priyadarshini, Om, Muhammad, everybody is asking for the certificate link, right? So you guys need to pay rupees 300 only, and you can, claim your certificate. And tomorrow, guys, we are going to learn, uh, you know, uh, uh, you know, machine learning, guys, right? Tomorrow, we are going to start with the machine learning, and it is going to be, it is going to be really super, super interesting, guys. Machine learning, and obviously we will have a practical, implementation there, right? Now from tomorrow onwards, I would be talking to the data. We would be using CSV file. We would be solving, uh, you know, uh, problems using that data. We would be implementing. So first code challenge was already given to you guys, that you need to draw a pie chart, guys. That was the code challenge for you, right? And after the class, we would be messaging you of the video recording as well, right? This recording would be available on the YouTube, guys. That would be there. uh, you know uh, so uh, I hope, guys, uh, yeah. Sri Harini from Valor. Yes, that's why we are giving the certificates as a PDF, where you can send the PDF, as an attachment to your resume. And because whatever you are learning, I think you should have a proof of that, right? And so that you can take a pride in talking to the employer or talking to the interviewer that yes, I did that course, and it was really a good course for me. I understood the concepts very well, right? And that's why, I think it's a good idea to have a certificate, so that you can show it to the people. You can, show it on the, social media as well, right? So that's there, guys, right? So let me check if I have a one more code challenge for you guys. Let me check if there is any other code challenge. Yes,
Yes,
there is
sir, I
one
have put.
more.
There are two code challenge. One is the pie chart and the bar chart. Both I have put in the Google Drive, sir.
Okay. So guys, there are two code challenges, and all of them are, available on Google Drive, and the Google Drive link is now known to you. I'm going to share it again, guys. Google Drive link. I'm going to share it again. So this is the Google Drive link here, guys, right? So guys,
Sir,
Sabir,
I'll request you that if you can open the Google Drive and show that it's a directory-wise, day-wise data is there, and if you can show the directory to them,
so
because a lot
guys, I
of
told,
queries comes to me.
okay, okay, I showed you yesterday as well, guys, that we have, organized the data for you on the Google Drive. And guys, this is the Google Drive, right? And we are putting the data day wise. Can you can see, guys, there are folders created for you, day one and day two. And you go to the day one, you will get the source code, code challenges, the solution to the, you know uh, 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 code challenges as well, right? So that is there, guys. And today's code has been added in the day two folder, right? So Daisy Sharma is saying, so thank you for the wonderful and fruitful session. Okay, Daisy, thank you. आई होप अगले 3 दिनों में आपको और भी नई जानकारियाँ, नई इंफॉर्मेशन, नई चीज़ें सीखने को मिलने वाली हैं. And mind it, guys, this is going to be a very, very interesting session for you. I can guarantee around that, actually. But you have to have a right motivation, right mindset to learn the things. If you're not motivated, you do not have the mindset to learn, हम कितना भी यहाँ से चिल्लाएं, कुछ भी हमें तुम आप आपको बताएं, you are not going to understand that, right? So you need to you need to put a lot of efforts from your side as well if you want to really make this event really worthful for you, right? You want to make this event to be worthy. You have to put efforts from your side as well, right? ताली दोनों हाथों से बजती है, that is the हिंदी में एक कहावत है. So वो आपको करना पड़ेगा. And guys, go and register for certificate, guys, and मजे करो, एंजॉय करो और चीज़ें सीखते रहो, नई नई चीज़ें. और इसके बाद फॉस्क का एक जावा पे सेशन आने वाला है. देयर इज अ न्यू सेशन कमिंग अप ऑन द जावा. दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम वी आर फ्लोटिंग द कोर्स ऑन जावा, guys, and Dr. Sylvester is the master of that. So Sylvester would be taking a class on Java, and after that we have a course on Python. So if there is any beginner want to learn the Python from the scratch, he can or she can join that course as well. So two events are in the pipeline for July month, guys. And I think कुछ और question आपका है तो please do send them to the TAs. संदीप और मोहित को आप वो सवाल अपने भेज सकते हैं, and they will definitely respond back to you. So guys, ख़त्म करें आज की कहानी. आज फिनिश ऑफ कर दें. अब आई थिंक 6 बज गए हैं. आप भी जाओ घर पे, चाय वाय पियो, अपने मज़े करो, नेटफ्लिक्स देखो, पाताल लोक देखो, जो भी आप देखना चाहें वो देखिए. सो थैंक यू गाइस. या सूरज घर पे ही हो, राइट? थैंक यू. एवरीबॉडी इज एट होम, राइट? सभी ने कोरोना से थोड़ा सा परेशान तो किया हुआ है, बट गाइज मोटिवेटेड रहिए, पॉजिटिव रहिए, तभी आप इस टाइम से अच्छे से फाइट कर पाएंगे, राइट? अच्छी किताबें पढ़िए एंड अच्छी चीज़ें देखिए. स्टे अवे फ्रॉम द न्यूज़ देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ नेगेटिव है वहाँ पे और कुछ भी नहीं है. सो थैंक यू गाइज. सी यू टुमारो 4 PM. बाय बाय. Thank you, Raj. Yeah, bye, Neil.